is this beam of light coming, if you can see, through my blinds here. I'm gonna have to obviously edit the video and darken everything, but I thought it was so cool how the beam of light looks in the video that I have to record with it. So I apologize about that. I just got off work, so I immediately got off, took a shower, ate, and am recording some videos. So anyway, the beam of light is really cool. I hope it's a cool spectacle to see. Ooh. It's a cool spectacle to see as you're watching, but obviously it's going to be dimmer when you're watching it than it is while I'm recording it. But in any case, let's talk about some interesting but random facts. Okay. Did you know, were you aware that a cloud weighs around 1,000,000 tons? 1,000,000 tons. A cloud typically has a volume of around 1 kilometer cubed and a density of around 1.003 kilograms per meter cubed. That's a density that's around 0.4% lower than the air surrounding it. In summation, if you weren't following the metrics, a cloud is really heavy. Doesn't look like it, but they are. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. That kind of checks out, right? Long necks, higher in the air, increases your chances of being a target. It says true, there are only 5 well-documented fatal lightning strikes of giraffes between 1996 and 2010. But due to the population of the species being just 140,000 during this time, it makes for about 0.003 lightning deaths per 1,000 giraffes each year. This is 30 times the equivalent fatality rate for humans. Excuse me, for humans. Did you know that Earth's rotation is changing speed? The Earth's rotation is actually slowing. This means that on average, the length of day increases around 1.8 seconds per year. So, our days are a little bit longer than they were, say, like 600 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think about. 600 million years ago, apparently. Based off these calculations, a day lasted about 21 hours instead of 24. So it took 600 million years to add on 3 hours. That's pretty insane. Did you know? Are you aware? Did you know? Are you aware? Did you know? Your brain is constantly eating itself. This process is called phagocytosis with a P. Phagocytosis. Not me getting a tongue twister here. Phagocytosis, where cells envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from our system. It's not harmful, meaning your brain isn't actively just going to eat itself to death. It's removing waste. But it does actually, according to this fact, phagocytosis is actually very helpful for sustaining the health of your gray matter. So, let your brain do its thing. The universe's average color is called cosmic latte. In a 2002 study, astronomers found that the light coming from galaxies averaged into a beige color that's close to white. So it's not pure white, it's beige. Interesting. You would think that the cosmic color would be something a little more colorful. But I guess we'll have to do with beige. I Were you aware? Did you know? Were you aware? Did you know that animals can experience time differently than humans do? To smaller animals, the world around them moves more slowly compared to humans. Salamanders and lizards, for example, experience time more slowly than cats and dogs. This is because the perception of time depends on how quickly the brain can process incoming information. That's pretty crazy. But it kind of makes sense, right? Because those kind of smaller animals have way shorter lifespans than we do. So time probably should move slower for them so they can at least enjoy their life a little bit, you know? I'm not gonna read the next fact because I can't. Water might not be wet is the fact. Water might not be wet. This is because most scientists define wetness as a liquid's ability to maintain contact with a solid surface, meaning that water itself is not wet, but can make other objects wet. Listen, I had this debate with my friends for years ago. My friends and family, actually. My friends and family. I'm not going to go back into it again today. But that's a crazy thing to think about, right? Water not being wet in and of itself. It has the ability to make things wet, but it in and of itself is not wet. A chicken once lived for 18 months without a head. A chicken once lived 18 months without a head. A chicken once lived 18 months without a head. Without a head. Mike the chicken's incredible feat was recorded back in the 1940s. He survived as his jugular vein and most of his brainstem were left mostly intact, ensuring just enough brain function remained for survival. The majority of cases, a headless chicken dies in a matter of minutes. Even that's insane because, you know, severing someone's head should mean instantaneous death. But there are creatures and critters out here that can survive without it, I suppose. All the world's bacteria stacked on top of each other would stretch for 10 billion light years. All of the world's bacteria stacked on top of each other, right, would reach or have the length of reaching. It would stretch for 10 billion light years. Light years. 10 billion of them. That is an incomprehensible amount of time. That's how many microbes live on this planet. That's how much bacteria is on this planet. Think how many microbes or microorganisms and bacteria lived inside your gut, let alone every human being's, combined with all of the other ones that just live in abundance on the planet. Insane. It says that many microbes stacked on top of each other could wrap around the Milky Way over 20,000 times. This is a galaxy we're talking about. Bacteria rule the world. They are unstoppable. That's insane. Wearing a tie can reduce blood flow to the brain by 7.5%. A study in 2018 found that wearing a necktie can reduce the blood flow to your brain by up to 7.5%, which can make you feel dizzy, nauseous, and cause headaches. They can also increase the pressure in your eyes if on too tight, and are great at carrying germs. So, neckties, gentlemen, or anybody who wears neckties, keep that in mind. If you're feeling lightheaded or nauseous, loosen it up a little bit. But I guess they're saying, in general, neckties can do that even if they're not on too tight. So just be wary of that. Just be wary of that. The world's oldest dog lived 29 and a half years, while the median age of a dog tends to be about 10 to 15 years. One Australian cattle dog, Bluey, survived to the ripe old age of 29 and a half, 29.5. That's pretty impressive. I don't know what that is in dog years, but that's pretty impressive. Conversely, the world's oldest cat lived means that they are far beyond the range of human hearing, right? We can only hear within a certain spectrum. I don't know if anyone's ever done the kind of like the frequency test where they play different sounds at different frequencies, and you get to a point where you can't hear it at all. But people's ability to hear different frequencies varies, right? There's some people who can hear higher frequencies than others, or lower frequencies than others, but the sun apparently makes a sound in the form of pressure waves that is incoherent to us. So, fun fact, if you didn't know, Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain in the world on Earth. Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa in Hawaii, the twin volcanoes, are taller than Mount Everest due to 4.2 kilometers of the entirety of the mountain being submerged underwater. The twin volcanoes measure a staggering 10.2 kilometers in total. In comparison to Everest's 4.6 kilometers. Yeah, it's 6.6 kilometers taller than Mount Everest, both Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. Next fact. Did you know our solar system has a wall? Like the one behind it. There's a wall. Oh, the sunbeam is gone. I don't know when that happened, but the heliopause, the region of space in which solar wind isn't hot enough to push back the wind of particles coming from distant stars, is often considered the boundary wall of the solar system in interstellar space. So, the heliopause is the region in which solar winds cannot fight against the residual particles in space. So, they designate this as the boundary between our solar system and what they call interstellar space. Did you know that octopuses, I feel like octopi makes more sense, but apparently that's not the plural word of an octopus, but they do not actually have tentacles. They have 8 limbs, but they are arms for most species. Technically, when talking about cephalopods, which is the scientific name or classification of octopi, that's what I'm going to call them, even though I guess technically it's octopuses, but octopi and squids and others, as you know, scientists define tentacles as limbs with suckers at their end. Octopus arms have suckers down most of their length, so it's not just their extremities. Octopi have suckers all over their body, so they don't have tentacles apparently, they have arms. Most maps of the world are wrong. This is interesting. On most maps, the Mercator projection, first developed in 1569, is still used. This method is widely inaccurate and makes Alaska appear as large as Brazil and Greenland, 4 times larger than it actually is. For a map to be completely accurate, it would need to be life-sized and round, not flat, which makes sense, right? These are projections of a extremely three-dimensional space on a 2-dimensional display. So, size is not exactly accurate. Okay, let's do one more fact and then I'll let you go. Did you know that the Earth's poles are moving? This magnetic reversal of the North and South Pole has happened 171 times in the past 71 million years. We're overdue a flip. It could come soon, as the North Pole is moving at around 55 kilometers per year and increase over 15 kilometers per year up until fathom life in 71 million years from now. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, thanks for chilling. Thanks for vibing. Thanks for relaxing with me. I hope you got some tingles or some relaxation, maybe some sleep out of today's very chill, interesting fact video. I hope you have a good day, a good night, and we'll see you next time.